My name is Osman. I will be your tour guide for tonight, and our driver Nelson. So both of us are going to try our best to show you a few nice places of Doha. We just got 3 hours. It's not very long, and it's not enough for Doha. Doha is a small city, but we've got so much to see in Doha. But we'll try our best. So what we are going to do first, we are going to have a photo stop for around 10 minutes near to the Museum of Islamic Art. And then we'll continue with a drive through to the Corniche, where West Bay is, towards Qatar Cultural Village, where we'll have a walking tour together, and then for around 45 minutes, and then we'll end our tour with Souk Waqif, the traditional market. So before we start, just the safety measures. We've got a first aid kit.
So this is the Islamic Museum of Art in Qatar, Doha, and so far this is a pretty amazing country. It's obviously has a lot of money and a lot of luxury, and it's very clean. Of course, we are just going on the paid tour, but so far this is incredibly beautiful. Look at the skyline. Amazing. My first time in the Middle East.
It's a mix of offices and residents. Looks like the sale, and then this building, which is under construction, looks like it's under construction. They started building this in 2007. In 2010 there was a financial crisis in Dubai, and it was supposed to be called Dubai Tower. 400 meters high, would have been the highest building here, but then due to that financial crisis they stopped building it, and until now it's just like that, nothing is happening.
Here is Qatar Cultural Center.
There's 2 mosques. One is this mosque known as Qatar Mosque or Blue Mosque as well, and a Golden Mosque. They are special, and they're not the biggest mosque, especially the other one is much smaller. However, this is one of the most beautiful mosques in Qatar, and what makes it special, on top of that, what comes out, that semicircular wall that comes out over there to your right, on top of it there's writing, calligraphy in gold, and that gold is real gold. And over there on top of the tower as well, these are verses from the Quran. Quran is the holy book for us Muslims, and they're written with real gold, 24 karat only in this mosque. And also these 2 mosques were designed by a lady. This is probably the first lady architect to have designed mosques. She's from Turkey, Zeynep Fadlıoğlu, and she got inspired by different mosques around the Islamic world, especially in Iran and also Turkey. And also a team who renovated the Dolmabahce Palace was also involved in designing this mosque. So a mosque is not only a place for prayer, it's also a place to come together, learn from one another, and to get to know each other. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to go inside the mosque, especially because we are a mixed group. The ladies have to go through another entrance and have to put things over them, so it will take time. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to open the door so that you can see the inside, take pictures, but please don't go inside, especially not with shoes. And that's what comes round. This shows us the direction for prayer. So the direction for prayer is towards Mecca, place in Saudi Arabia. There's like a square-shaped black building. We believe it was constructed by Prophet Abraham and his son Ishmael a few thousand years ago. And this shows us if the mosque is closed, we can pray somewhere else. We know the direction. And in the tower over there, it's a minaret. So the minaret in the past, the one who would call for prayer would walk up and then call for prayer so that it can be heard in the surrounding. Nowadays, we've got the technology, we've got the microphone inside, and he would just call for prayer 5 times a day from the inside. It's happening live, it's not recorded. And you may have already had one of those calls for prayer. It happens 5 times, and then we put like a shorter call, which happens just around 20 minutes after the call to tell us, okay, now it's the time for prayer in the mosque. The call for prayer is called adhan, and the one who calls for prayer is called muaddin, and the tower is a minaret. So this is, many mosques have got a minaret. This one is not attached to the mosque, so this is like the Ottoman Empire time. Over here in front of you, we've got the Colosseum, where we have our weekly fights with lions and tigers and so on. Everyone can join. That's of course a joke. This is the amphitheater, and we can go in. Just if you could make some space for the buggy, please. Thank you. So we'll go inside and have a look at it. But before we go inside, there are these 2 structures over there on the right side, to your right side. You may have seen this before somewhere if you have been to any of the Gulf countries. So this is called batulla. It's worn on the face, mostly nowadays by elderly ladies. It's something traditional here in Qatar, and it helps with also from the sun, to protect your face from the sun. And in the past, when the women got married, she would wear that, and it was a message to us men that we don't have a chance anymore with her, and we should try our luck somewhere else. But once we're back in the bus, I'll tell you a bit more about the face veil and why women wear that, where it comes from. So this is the amphitheater, and lots of events are happening here. Before we go inside, you can see, and it looks like a Colosseum. That's why I was making that joke, because something Greek or old Roman as well. And it has some Arabic features as well with the ceiling. When we look at on the top, this is how they used to construct their houses in the past, with mangrove poles and palm fronds and so on. This is just cladding, so it's not real, but it's to give us that Arabic feature in this construction as well. And all this marble that we see here, this all is imported from Italy throughout the amphitheater. Qatar Cultural Village was, they started the construction in 2004, and many places in Qatar they started construction in 2004. And by 2012, this was opened, and there was the first event here in the amphitheater. What we're going to do now, we're going straight to the stage over there to see, take some pictures, but we've got washrooms to the right for the ladies. The most people are in order to join this competition, and it's quite good because the prize is up to 3 million. There's a huge key. That key previously had some Arabic writing on it, where the different places of Palestine. And it's one of the largest keys in the world, and it symbolizes the struggle that the Palestinians are going through. When Israel was founded in 1948, many Palestinians had to flee from their homes, and they were wearing their keys with the hope that one day they will return back to their homes. But unfortunately, until now, the situation is really bad. Our prayers are with them, but this is like the message about that. So we'll go that way and see some more things here in Qatar.
Very clean.
necessary to pray exactly when it's prayed in the mosque. It's the best thing to pray in the mosque if it's possible, but you can also pray within a time frame. So even if you are a professional, a doctor or a teacher and it's prayer time, you don't have to pray your prayer immediately. You've got timing. For example, the noon prayer here in Qatar is around 11:45, and then the afternoon prayer is around 3 p.m. So you've got from 11:45 until 3 p.m. to pray your prayer. But if you manage to pray the mosque with the duration, it's always the best thing to do.
Which color do you say? The green? Both green?
This one can you do?
Okay.
Venice in Italy with the gondola inside the mall. The flooring looks like the streets of village Venice, and the shops are painted like the houses, quite colorful in Venice. On the right side just now you'll see the building, the Tornado Dune Plaza that I mentioned earlier today, and then you've got this steel roof.
Smells good. Oh, let's see the bird. Wow. Oh.
Hey, remember the
Yeah.
big turtle?
Stay with the group.
He walks so
Yeah.
Camel, but inside is elephant.
وهو كان الكاميرا.
They're wearing a brown uniform with the Arabic headscarf in red, white, like in the 40s. And then we've got on your left side, Bismillah Hotel. Bismillah means in the name of God. This is the first hotel here. It was built in the 50s, and the signage is still the same from the 50s. It's quite famous, but it has only 2 rooms. And then we've got the golden town right over there.
الشارع عشان نشوفه كتير.
A gold stamp over here. It can be something short, it's up to them, but what is important is that they cover their body so that the body shape is not seen. So in Islam, in general, men and women should wear something too tight, and women, if they wear something tight, then they're supposed to wear something loose over so that the body shape is not seen. And then some women you may have seen are wearing a veil on their face, and others have just covered their hair, but the face is open. Where does this come from? So, as I've mentioned, we believe in the Quran, which is the holy book for us Muslims. We believe that these are the words of God, and that God has revealed His words to His Prophet. So in the Quran, it's mentioned in a few places that the women should cover their beauty so that they are recognized and they are not molested or abused, and they can only leave that which is necessary to be seen open. So many of the women in the time of the Prophet, this is like over 1,400 years ago, they covered their faces as well. And there were some who left the face open because they understood that the face, it's okay to be seen. The school fees, so some companies pay a full school fee, some pay certain percentage like 20%, 50% and so on, depending on the company. And with allowances for accommodation also depending on the company, some pay more, some pay less. But many people opt to wait until the company accommodates someone. So you could take the allowance for yourself to look for your own property, and then you can either top up and get something really nice, or save from the allowances and get something cheaper. However, it is very expensive to live here in Doha, so many wait until the employer gives an accommodation. That way you don't have to pay a lot of rent, you just pay your bills, and sometimes there is also help from the employer towards the bills. And people, professionals, especially from the West, they are paid very well. So the average salary in Qatar is around 70,000 US dollars a year. But obviously you get some who earn much less and then others who earn more. The salary is tax free, so there's no tax in the shops or on your salary. However, there is also no pension, so if you get old or if you are out of work, there is no support, so you need to save your money. So living in Qatar without work is not possible. You get here through a work visa, and then if you don't have work, you've got like 2 months to find some other work. If you don't find anything, then you have to leave the country, or you have to be self-employed and support yourself. But if you don't have work, then it's quite difficult. That's why you won't also find any homeless people on the street, because if you don't have work after 2 months, then you're out of the country. So that's why we didn't see any people who are begging or like homeless people and so on. In sports, Qatar is also trying to the terminal where the royal family fly from. This is on the right side. And then living in the compounds is a like gated accommodation with, it could be just like 30 houses, 10 houses, or even like 200, 300 houses and flats in one place. And they've got facilities such as swimming pools, gym, football pitches, basketball pitches, and so on, like playgrounds for children, which it makes it very safe. Qatar is one of the safest countries in the world. You could leave something on a bench and come back after 2 hours, you'll still find it there. So people don't steal. If you drop something, someone will take it and give it to you back. And if there's no one, maybe they will take it to the security or to the police. So it's a very safe country. Women are very respected in this country. For example, if you go to a place where there's a queue, women can always skip the queue, and I take that advantage when I'm with my wife. I relax on the couch and she can just quickly finish everything, you know. So this is the good part here in Qatar as well. We are back at the airport. Just one thing from my side, you've got some QR codes on the windows. If you don't mind, if you can take a picture of it or scan it and review us, that will be very good. It will support us, it will help us, myself especially. And if you remember my name, Osman, that is even better. I hope you enjoyed that tour. And a big thanks to our driver Nelson. I think the ride was comfortable, and we reached back safely. We didn't have to use the red hammers by the windows. I wish you all the best for the remaining adventures, in case you have booked anything, maybe other places, or a safe travel back to your home place or to your next holiday destination. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Osman. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you. Just please don't forget anything. Maybe you put something on the top or next to you, and we'll on the luggages.
I just took a 14-hour flight, traveled in Qatar for 3 hours. Good night.